Alright, so today's lesson is on distance, rate, time, word problems. So if we read a word problem like this, Ariana and Gabby are riding their bikes. Ariana is going 5 miles an hour, and Gabby, who started an hour after Ariana, is going 6 miles per hour. And how many hours will Gabby catch up with Ariana? So that sounds confusing, right?
No.
No?
No.
So some of you don't like word problems, I get that.
No.
So what I want you to do, you're going to organize this information in a little table. Okay? So I want you to start making a little table like that. And then we're just going to fill this in. So the first thing we have to learn is that a person's rate multiplied by how long they travel at that rate gives us how far they travel. So we know that our distance is equal to our rate multiplied with our time. And the easiest thing I could teach you is if you're driving in a car and you're going at a rate of 60 miles per hour, so 60 miles per hour, let's say you traveled for 2 hours, how far did you go? 120 miles. 60 miles an hour times 2 hours at that rate gives us how far we travel. So that's the little formula that you have to memorize. Distance is rate times time. So distance that someone travels, like Ariana and like Gabby, the distance they travel is going to be their rate times their time. Alright? So now that we made a nice little chart, it's going to help us organize the information from the word problem. And then we're going to find an equation that we could solve. So what is Ariana's rate?
5 miles per hour.
5 miles per hour. So we just put a 5 in there. Very good. Do we know Gabby's rate?
No.
6
miles per hour.
6 miles per hour.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is kind of like the perimeter word problems we did. We know one of these, we don't know the other. If you read it, Gabby, who started what?
1 hour.
1 hour after Ariana. So we could probably figure out Gabby's time, right?
Yes.
The one we don't know is Ariana's.
So that's a T.
So that's a T. That's your unknown. That's your variable. So Gabby, if she left 1 hour after Ariana, how could we write that?
1.
2.
We're going to use a 1 because it's 1 hour after. So how do you...
T plus 1.
If Ariana's riding for 4 hours,
T minus 1.
how long did she ride? If she leaves an hour after?
T minus.
T minus 1.
3. So this should be T minus 1. Ariana's time minus the 1 hour because she left an hour later,
Yes.
right? She left an hour after, so she's riding for 1 hour less than Ariana. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's very similar to the perimeter word problems, where we had to write the length in terms of the width, right? We know Gabby's time, it's 1 hour after Ariana's time. We don't know Ariana's time, that's the variable, that's the T.
Why do you subtract?
Why do we subtract? Because it says an hour
Yeah, but
after.
that's not going to make a difference.
It makes a big difference. If I ride my bike for 4 hours and someone's trying to catch me and they waited an hour and then tried to catch me, how long did they ride for? An hour less, which is only 3 hours. So that's why we subtract 1. Okay? Then how do we find their distance now? Multiply the rate times the time. So the rate times the time gives us the distance, and the rate times the time gives us the distance. So 6 times the t minus 1 and 5 times the t. Okay?
Yes.
Now here's where we have to use a little bit of logic. I like to draw a picture. Okay? But if this is Ariana and this is Gabby, and we want to what?
Catch up.
Catch up to her. So if Ariana takes off and rides her bike and ends up here, and then an hour later Gabby takes off and rides her bike and catches up to her, what do you know about the distance?
They're the same thing.
They're the same. So the distance was the same. So what are we going to do to those? If they're the same, we should divide. In algebra, what symbol do we use to say something is the same?
Equal.
Equal. Very good. Solve it. Go. Got an answer?
Yeah.
Good. First thing, clear parentheses, so we distribute. And then
Subtract 6 minus 6.
subtract the 6t, right? Bring the variable to the left. And the last step, divide so that the variable is positive. So we found that t equals 6. Now be careful. Is that the answer? Read the question. In how many hours will Gabby catch up with Ariana? So we want to know, how long was Gabby riding for? Well, Gabby's time is what?
T. 6 minus
T minus 1. What was T?
6.
So 6 minus 1?
5.
5. So Gabby will catch up to Ariana in 5 hours. Okay? We good with that?
Yep.
Excellent. Any questions?
Nope.
So first thing I want you to do is make a chart like this so you can organize the information. Once you have the information, write your equation, solve the equation, then make sure you answer the question. Okay?